What if I told you Padre Pio left a prophecy so shocking that it was hidden from the world for years? This secret could reveal the truth about what's happening right now and what's yet to come. Padre Pio, one of the most revered saints of our time, shared a powerful message that they don't want you to know. Why was this prophecy kept hidden? And what does it mean for you and the world today? In the next few minutes, you'll discover the shocking details and how they might change everything you believe. Stay with me until the end, because what you're about to hear could prepare you for what's coming. Padre Pio, known for his deep spirituality and extraordinary gifts, was not just a man of prayer, he was a visionary. Throughout his life, he had divine revelations about future events, spiritual battles, and the destiny of humanity. His words carried wisdom and warning, offering guidance to those seeking protection and clarity in an uncertain world. But why is this prophecy so significant today? Many believe that the world is facing unprecedented challenges: moral decline, natural disasters, and spiritual confusion. Padre Pio's prophecy might hold the answers we've been searching for, shedding light on the reasons behind the turmoil and what we need to do to prepare ourselves spiritually. If you've ever felt that something bigger is happening around us, this video will provide the clarity you need. The insights from Padre Pio's vision can serve as a guide to navigate these turbulent times with faith and strength. Now that you have an idea of what's at stake, let's take a closer look at the man behind this incredible revelation, Padre Pio, and why his words are more relevant today than ever before. Padre Pio, born Francesco Forgione in 1887 in Pietrelcina, Italy, was a Capuchin friar who became one of the most venerated figures in modern Christianity. From an early age, he experienced profound spiritual encounters, visions of Christ and the Virgin Mary, and even battles with dark forces. These experiences shaped his unwavering devotion to God and his deep compassion for humanity. He was best known for bearing the stigmata, the wounds of Christ, which appeared on his body and remained for over 50 years. Doctors, scientists, and religious authorities were baffled by these miraculous wounds, which bled continuously yet never became infected. Padre Pio humbly accepted them as a sign of his mission to bear the suffering of others and to intercede for the salvation of souls. Beyond the physical manifestations, Padre Pio possessed extraordinary spiritual gifts. He was said to have the ability to read souls, heal the sick, and bilocate, appearing in 2 places at once. People from all walks of life traveled to meet him, seeking guidance, healing, and reassurance. He spent long hours in the confessional, offering spiritual counsel and helping believers find their way back to God. Despite facing skepticism, persecution, and even restrictions from the Church, Padre Pio remained steadfast in his mission. He warned of spiritual dangers and the importance of remaining vigilant in faith. Many of his prophetic insights were recorded in letters to his spiritual advisors and followers, containing warnings about future tribulations and the importance of preparing one's soul. Understanding who Padre Pio was is crucial to grasping the weight of his prophecy. His profound connection with the divine and his unwavering commitment to guiding humanity through darkness make his revelations even more relevant today. Among the many spiritual insights left by Padre Pio, one prophecy stands out as particularly shocking, so much so that it was allegedly suppressed for years. This prophecy speaks of a time of great turmoil, where humanity would face both physical and spiritual challenges unlike anything seen before. Padre Pio foresaw a period of darkness that would test the faith of even the most devout believers, warning that only those firmly rooted in prayer and repentance would endure. According to reports from his closest followers, Padre Pio spoke of an impending chastisement, a divine purification that would come upon the world to cleanse it of sin and bring people back to God. He described visions of natural disasters, global conflicts, and moral decay that would shake the very foundations of society. His words were not meant to instill fear, but rather to encourage preparation, both spiritual and practical. In one of his letters, Padre Pio allegedly wrote, "A great storm is coming, and it will be unlike anything the world has ever seen. Nations will rise against each other, and faith will be tested. But those who remain close to God will find refuge and peace in their hearts." Many of his followers believe that parts of this prophecy are already unfolding in today's world. The increasing global instability, the loss of moral values, and the rise of uncertainty in daily life have led many to revisit Padre Pio's warnings with renewed urgency. Some even suggest that certain events, such as natural calamities and global crises, align with what he predicted decades ago. But Padre Pio's message was not just one of warning, it was also one of hope. He emphasized that, through faith, prayer, and a return to spiritual values, humanity could overcome these tribulations. He encouraged devotion to the Rosary, participation in the sacraments, and living a life of humility and service to others. In his view, these were the pillars of spiritual protection in times of trial. One of the most striking aspects of his prophecy is its connection to other Marian apparitions and biblical warnings about the end times. The themes of repentance, divine mercy, and preparation are echoed in various religious texts, leading many to believe that Padre Pio's words are part of a larger divine plan. While some skeptics dismiss his prophecy as mere speculation, the growing alignment between his predictions and current world events cannot be ignored. Whether one believes in the supernatural aspect of his revelations or not, the core message remains clear: humanity must return to God and seek his guidance before it's too late. Now that we've uncovered the details of Padre Pio's prophecy, the question remains: how can we prepare ourselves spiritually for what is to come? Padre Pio's prophecy serves as a wake-up call, urging us to strengthen our spiritual lives and prepare for the challenges ahead. While the vision he shared may seem daunting, he always emphasized that faith and devotion are the greatest weapons against the trials to come. So, how can we follow his guidance and prepare ourselves spiritually for these uncertain times? One of Padre Pio's strongest recommendations was the power of prayer, particularly the daily recitation of the Rosary. He believed that the Rosary was a direct line of protection against evil forces and a source of strength during moments of crisis. He often said, "The Rosary is the weapon for these times." Making prayer a daily habit not only strengthens our relationship with God, but also provides a sense of peace and direction amid the chaos of the world. Another key aspect of spiritual preparation is the sacrament of confession. Padre Pio dedicated countless hours to hearing confessions, urging believers to cleanse their souls regularly. He taught that frequent confession keeps our hearts aligned with God and shields us from spiritual attacks. A clean conscience allows us to better discern God's will and resist temptations that may lead us away from our faith. In addition to prayer and confession, Padre Pio encourages followers to participate in the Eucharist as often as possible. He believed that receiving Holy Communion was one of the most powerful ways to fortify the soul and draw it closer to God. In difficult times, the Eucharist serves as spiritual nourishment that sustains and strengthens believers. Beyond these sacraments, Padre Pio also stressed the importance of living a life of humility and charity. He believed that true preparation is not just about personal spiritual growth, but also about helping others in their faith journey. Acts of kindness, compassion, and service to those in need bring us closer to God and fulfill our purpose as his children. Additionally, creating a sacred environment at home can serve as a constant reminder of God's presence. Padre Pio recommended having blessed items such as crucifixes, holy water, and religious images as symbols of faith and protection. While the future remains uncertain, the teachings of Padre Pio remind us that preparation is not about fear, but about embracing faith and trust in God's divine plan. In light of Padre Pio's shocking prophecy, many believers are beginning to see undeniable signs that suggest his warnings are unfolding before our eyes. From increasing global instability to moral and spiritual decline, the world is facing challenges that align eerily with his predictions. Could we be witnessing the fulfillment of his vision? One of the most prominent signs is the growing moral and spiritual decay in society. Padre Pio warned of a time when people would turn away from God and moral values would be replaced by selfishness and corruption. Today, we see a world where faith is often sidelined, traditional values are questioned, and confusion about right and wrong seems more prevalent than ever. The loss of spiritual direction and the rise of secular ideologies suggest a deepening crisis that Padre Pio foresaw decades ago. Another alarming sign is the increase in natural disasters and global crises. Earthquakes, wildfires, and unprecedented weather patterns are becoming more frequent, leading many to wonder if these are the birth pains Padre Pio spoke of. He mentioned that nature itself would revolt against mankind's sins, and many believers interpret recent catastrophic events as a manifestation of this warning. Political and social unrest is another indicator that resonates with Padre Pio's message. He predicted that nations would rise against one another, and division would spread across the world. Today, conflicts, wars, and economic instability are at an all-time high, creating fear and uncertainty among people everywhere. The increasing division within societies, fueled by misinformation and ideological battles, reflects his prophecy about global turmoil. Perhaps one of the most unsettling signs is the rise of spiritual confusion and deception. Padre Pio warned that, in the final days, many false prophets and misleading ideologies would arise, leading people astray. Today, we see an explosion of new spiritual movements, some of which contradict the core teachings of Christianity, leaving many searching for truth in a sea of confusion. Despite these signs, Padre Pio's prophecy was not intended to instill fear, but to encourage spiritual readiness. He emphasized that through faith, prayer, and a strong relationship with God, we can find peace and security even in the most troubling times. When faced with a prophecy as powerful as Padre Pio's, it's natural for people to react in different ways, some with fear, others with skepticism, and some with a sense of urgency. However, misunderstanding or misapplying his message can lead to mistakes that prevent true spiritual growth and preparedness. One of the most common mistakes is falling into fear and despair. Padre Pio's prophecy was never meant to create panic, but to encourage spiritual readiness. Many people focus too much on the negative aspects of the prophecy, allowing anxiety to cloud their faith. Instead, his message should inspire hope and a deeper trust in God's plan. Another mistake is neglecting spiritual preparation in favor of material concerns. While it's wise to be prepared for potential challenges, true readiness comes from strengthening one's soul through prayer, confession, and acts of charity. Placing too much emphasis on physical preparations without addressing spiritual needs can leave people vulnerable in the most important way. Some individuals make the mistake of seeking quick fixes or sensational interpretations. They may turn to unreliable sources that distort Padre Pio's words for sensationalism. It's crucial to focus on his authentic teachings and the guidance of the Church. Padre Pio's prophecy is a powerful reminder that we are living in a time of spiritual urgency. His words were not meant to instill fear, but rather to guide us toward a deeper connection with God and a renewed sense of purpose. Throughout this journey, we've uncovered the shocking details of his message, the signs pointing to its fulfillment, and the practical steps we can take to prepare our hearts and souls. If there is one key takeaway from Padre Pio's prophecy, it's that faith is our greatest weapon. Prayer, confession, and devotion to God are the pillars that will sustain us through any challenge. Instead of fearing the unknown, we should embrace his teachings and live with hope, knowing that God's protection is always within reach for those who seek it. Now is the time to act. Begin strengthening your spiritual life today. Commit to daily prayer, seek confession, and share the message of faith with others. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more spiritual insights. Remember Padre Pio's timeless words: pray, hope, and don't worry. Let's walk this path of faith together. See you in the next video.